Hello everyone, Jay here from Jade Productions, back with another video, and in this video we are looking at the brand new 2020 Christmas Battle Force boxes that have been announced and are coming out, and we're looking specifically in this video at the Age of Sigmar ones. The 40k ones I'm not going to comment on because someone will jump down my throat about how I'm ignorant and don't know anything about a game I've been playing for, 15 plus years, so, whatever. Anyway, so as we jump into, the Age of Sigmar ones, there's 4 of them. They all look pretty decent, bar one. One of them looks really bad. But then again, there's always a way to do this. So this video is going to focus on breaking down what's in each of them, talking about how useful they are for if you're starting an army versus expanding an army, what you could use to then get on top of, to get more and turn it into a full-fledged force, and what I sort of think of these in general, to let you know about how, and encourage how you can get into collecting these and whether or not they're worth it for your particular needs. So, here we have the Disciples of Zinc. They get theirs. So, in the Disciples of Zinc one, it looks like they have quite a number of guys. So, you get a total of 20 Carrick Acolytes, 2 units of 10, or 1 giant unit of 20, which is pretty good. So you've got some base battle line there, 2 battle line right off the start. You get a Gaunt Summoner I can see in there, that's excellent. Is that the Gaunt Summoner model? Yeah, that's the Gaunt Summoner model. Yep, so you get a Gaunt Summoner in there, so that's pretty good. He's excellent, he'll be able to summon you some demons right off the battlefield. He's very good for just planting down a small unit of horrors, which are essential. Essentially, they're great tar pits for an army that's rather squishy, which the Disciples of Zinc are. And then you get a bunch of Zangors. You get 10 Zangors, which is pretty good. Zangors are okay as far as battle line go. They're better melee combatants than your Carrick Acolytes. They're all good. They're not the most amazing thing in the Disciples of Zinc army, but they're fair enough as a basic battle line that will go forward and do some choppy chop. Whereas the Carrick Acolytes, despite how they appear, they're okay in combat. Like, they're very average. Their true strength lies in their shooting support that they can give with their magic attacks, and the fact that they can be wizards while you have enough of them in a squad. So, there's that. It then comes with 3 Zangor Enlightened on discs. You can build them without the discs, but you always want to build them on the discs. It's just better that way. They're fast. They are phenomenal shock troops. They are amazing to have. So any kind of collection you'll want, you could probably get a very good army out of the base of this. You have a lot of things that are very good here in terms of you get 3 battle line, you get an excellent shock trooper, you get the Gaunt Summoner who's excellent utility and annoying to buy on his own, and then of course the piece of resistance, you get a Lord of Change, which you could either summon or bring as your general. They're basically they tend to be at the core of most forces. They're particularly good and they're amazing models to begin with. Now, I think this is good typically if you are looking to start a Disciples of Zinc army, particularly since it has a lot of the things you need. It gets you your 2 HQs, it gets you 3 battle line, it gets you and some Enlighten on top of that. You could get 2 of them, get a huge force get together, and be able to put together a pretty solid force, and then you can add on some more guys. Of course, that would be the basis of a foundation of a huge army, so it's very good for that. In terms of expanding on, this would be a good one that you could, if you already have a Disciples of Zinc army, and if you just want more bodies, for example, you've already invested in lots of demons, you could just grab this. It gets you a nice selection of mortal units. It gets you some nice Zangors, some Zangor Enlightened again. It just really bumps up your numbers, and it comes with a lot of change as well. It's not so great if you're looking to expand the army. It's more, expand an existing army, sorry. It's more in the case of, this is a good box if you want to start an army, because then after you have this, you'll then be able to add on to it, and you'll get add some horrors, add some flamers, add some heralds, add some flaming discs, and some more Enlightened, and some Skyfires, and you've got yourself a pretty good force ready to go there. A few more characters, maybe an Ogre Thaumaturge if you're looking for something like that, and you get yourself a pretty solid foundation for a good Disciples of Zinc army. But In terms of, is such an army going to be a good foundation for a super competitive build? No, because all the Disciple Zinc ones are kind of cheesy bullshit that the book was never intended to do, but you can still do it anyway. So, next, there's the Carrodon Overlords Battle Force. So, in this, you get, let's see, you get Bork Grunson. So, he's a very good named character, but he's also your only named character other than, not the Warcry, the Underworld's character. So, that's, here or there. But either or, he's still pretty good. Then you get 2 units of Sky Wardens and or Endrinriggers. Both are decent units, kind of points filler and decent shock troops, depending on how you want to run them. You get 2 ships of the frigate, not of the frigates, of the gunstruck gun haulers, and then you get a frigate on top of that. So, in terms of what this is, I think this is probably the worst one of the lot, and that's saying something. You get a couple of really decent things here. Is this something that I would say you should buy if you are looking to start an army of Carrodon Overlords? Hell no. This is not something you should buy if you're looking to buy and start a Carrodon Overlords army. This is not what you get first. No. This doesn't have any of the things you need to get an army up and running really quickly, because if you get this, you then have to either commit to being, essentially you have to be Barrack I can't remember the exact barrack. You have to commit to being the barrack that takes the gun haulers. It's the one that I play personally. Taking the gun haulers as your battle line, and even then this gets you to battle line, not much else. If you try to do them Barrack Zilfin, the ship comes in. This is not a good one for starting. The only things, everything in here has the potential to be battle line, but all requires you to buy something else or dedicate yourself to being something. And of course, you don't get the really good things inside of your army. And that is, quite simply, the A to grade Fantastico Grundstock Thunderers. And the Thunderers are what you want. The Thunderers are the thing. They are the bee's knees, and you want lots of them, and then you want a couple of, the 2 squads. You see here, what I see here is the case of, this is a good box for if you have the basics of the Carrodons together already, and you want to expand on it really quickly, and just buy a whole bunch of things that are excellent auxiliary choices to throw into the core of your army. That's what this box is good for. So, in terms of starting an army, it's terrible. In terms of adding on to an army, all you need is your characters, your ironclad typically, or not even an ironclad if you do need, but you'll need your Thunderers and your Arcanauts, because you're going to need Arcanauts, just accept that fact. At least 1 squad. And then you can basically add on to it in this squad, and if you basically grab a get starting box, and then this, you have yourself a pretty good foundation of a nice army, and then you grab yourself some more Thunderers, and then you've got yourself almost a 2,000 point army right then and there. So, especially if you go in certain configurations. You'd have to buy more Arcanauts, obviously, if you were, leaning to one of the other barracks, but it's okay in terms of it. It's not my favorite one. In fact, I think it's the worst one of the lot. So that says something in the fact that it's still an incredibly good box. Not something I would personally recommend, though, unless you already had an army, on the go. Now, the next one is the Ogre More Tribes. Now, the Ogre More Tribes one here is pretty phenomenal in terms of my opinion. So, this box is pretty good. This is an army in a box, absolutely crazy good. I would say buy 2 of these if you could. And then you have yourself an War Tribes army just straight up, and then you have yourself a giant along with it. You get yourself some the Iron Guts. You get yourself some I forget the names of the different War Tribes units and what they used to call them. You get yourself some basic ogres. And you get yourself 10 of them. That's a good amount. You get yourself 3 of the Iron Guts, who are your elite guys. 9 of them in a unit is really, really murderous. Anything bigger than that is super not friendly. So if you buy 2 of these boxes and you get 6 of them, that's a decent unit of shock troops right then and there. And then, of course, you get yourself the Lead Belchers, who've got themselves their cannons, and you get 4 of them here, and they're decent range support, and they're battle line as well, I'm pretty sure. From memory, it's been a while since I've looked in my Ogre War Tribe book. You get your Tyrant for a HQ, and then of course you get your cannon in the back, which your cannon can optionally be assembled as a scrap launcher. The cannon is, quite frankly, just the better option in terms of the 2 of them, but the scrap launcher has its uses. And then, of course, you get Giant Auxiliary. So the Giant is something that's a little interesting. It's not something I would have thought to have put in the box, but I guess when not everything in, the line is actually in plastic, then, the Giant is the way to go. And so this is a good foundation. I really like this. It really tempts me to buy it as an army and buy 2 of them. If you already have an Ogre army, I don't think this is going to add anything you don't already have in terms of an Ogre army. You're already going to have, hopefully, a good bunch of Iron Guts. You're going to already have some Gluttons, and you probably already have some Lead Belchers. The only thing you probably get out of it is the new Tyrant model, maybe a cannon and a Giant. And that's, depending on their price, based on your region, may or may not be worth it. Here in Australia, that price would definitely not be worth it. So that's the thing there. Now, the final one, we're looking at, oh boy, we have ourselves here the Gloomspike gets one. This one is the second best one. The Ogre's one is the best one if you're starting an army. This one is the best one if you're expanding onto an army. So, with the Gloomspike gets, everything in this box is the best things in the Gloomspike gets army. So, it gets you 6 Rock Guts, okay? So the Rock Guts are amazing. They're really, really fantastic, especially in the Gloomspike gets army. No matter what you're running, you should be running probably 6 of those at least. The Dank Holder is an awesome model. It feels a pretty good purpose. It provides a nice hammering along with stuff. Those together, excellent for anyone who wants trolls, anyone who loves squigs. You get yourself the new squig riding fungus. Ah, man, I always forget these terms. Your Grot Boss, the new Grot Boss on Cave Squig, with his poker, so that new plastic model, and then you get yourself 5, 10, 15 Squig Riders, which, you can build those Squig Riders typically one of 2 ways, because the kits are a multi-kit. You could build them either as the Squig Hoppers, never. Or you can build them as the better ones, the Boingrot Bounders, which are, again, along with the Dankholds, one of the best units in the entire... Sorry, I said Dankhold, I meant Rock Guts. Along with the Rock Guts, they are one of the best units in the entire Gloomspike Gits army. So this box is incredible. If you've already got yourself the basics of your Goblin Horde together with your Shaman and some Fanatics and some just basic Grots, with some stabbers or shooters, you grab this box and you're pretty much also almost done. If you're not already got that, this box comes together. You can add it on to, it's very easy to add on to. You grab those things remaining, get yourself some basic infantry, battle line, fanatics, maybe a few other bits and pieces, depending on how much you want to run. Get yourself some sneaky snufflers to support everything, and boom, away you go. Maybe even grab yourself Skagrot. If you're looking to start an army with this, you can do it because of the way this box is set up. As I said, it is a multi-build kit on the Squigs, right? And the Squig Hoppers, while they are vastly inferior to the Boingrot Bounders, they do provide a scout and objective-taking role where they can just sort of run up the board, maybe, and screen and use their speed to hop around everywhere. And they can become battle line so long as the character that you get in this box is your general. So you can start an army with this and then meet a 2 minimum battle line for a 1,000 point game. And while you can start an army with it, I wouldn't recommend it as the base, because it's one of those things of, well, half this army is good for Dank Holds and the other part is good for Trolls and the other part is good for Squigs. And then, as I said, and on the other hand, you could build that Dank Hold as a Dank Hold Trog Boss and have the Rock Guts as battle line with 2 units of 3 of them. So you can do it. Is it optimal? Is it good for starting off an army? No, but this is a good box nonetheless, with a good selection of units in good numbers. Like I said, the plastic new Grot Boss, fantastic. 15 of the Bongrot Bounders potentially, and the Squig Riders. Fantastic numbers of those. You want a unit of 15 of those. If you're fielding all as one unit of 15, Squig Hoppers is amazing. You have 6 Rock Guts. You could field them as units of 3, but Rock Guts, you want to be using them in units of 6, so it's perfect amount that you've got there. And of course, you've got the Dankhold, which you could build as just a regular Dankhold if you're looking for a more Goblin build. Or you can build it as a Trug Boss if you just want that extra sort of Trug Boss stuff, because he is a very good hero in terms of the army. But he doesn't really support or gel with anything that's not trolls. But you have it here, and it's got the great potential in this box. So overall, the flat-out best of them is the Ogre More Tribes box, then the Gloomspike Git box, then the Disciples of Zinc box. The Carrodon Overlords box is the worst of them, but even then, it's still pretty good if you're looking to add it on to an existing Carrodon Overlords army, or if you just want to buy it and then get yourself the minimum amount you need to actually play a game with a proper working force of Carrodon Overlords, because that shit that in that box doesn't work by itself. That's about everything from me. I have been Jay from Jade Productions, signing off. Forgive me if I've been a little short of breath in this video and taking long pauses while I struggle to remember things. It is simply a case of I cannot breathe right now, and I am quite struggling with it. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.